this morning, sun's a bit hazy, checking the forecast, things looking crazy. A storm on the horizon, the pressure is low, gotta get moving, put on a show. The news is all buzzing, state of alert, but we've got a plan, we're ready to work. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. See a little fire or a rising flood, we're a well-oiled machine, we're running in the mud. From the city hall meetings to the rescue teams, turning worst case scenarios into hopeful dreams. We're training the people, we're stocking the gear, we're the team you can count on when trouble is near. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. It's more than a job, it's a calling, you see. Prepared for the present and what's yet to be. Every second counts, we're ready to react for our communities. We're making an impact. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. Yeah, we're picking you up, we're ready to go. EMA, let's get this show on the road.
Let's kick this can, guys. Let's do this. How about do it right now? Let's do it right now, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Emergency Management Associates. My name is Ron Tyler. Welcome to our program, guys. We're glad to have you here. Guys, we want to do some housekeeping right from the beginning. We've had some troubles with people not getting notified when we come on the air. I want to make this statement crystal clear, guys. Crystal clear. We have several people here that haven't been here for a while. Deep Quake Paul is here. Thank you for being here. We have Kenneth here. Thank you for being here as well. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it very much. Guys, if anybody else is listening on the air here, if you haven't been notified about our channel being on the air, please unsubscribe and resubscribe again immediately. Unsubscribe and subscribe again immediately. Then click that little notification bell again. There's a notification bell right next to the subscription button. Click on it, and when you do that, there will be a drop-down menu. 3 items come up. Click on the word ALL. All. That should get you notified when we come on there. But be advised, again, YouTube does not always notify anybody when we come on the air. They just aren't doing it anymore for whatever reason. They've got the notifications there. They have the ability to do it, but they're not doing it. So please, guys, please know this. We come on the air between 5 and 6 p.m. I shouldn't say that. 4 and 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. If anything happens at night, first thing in the morning, whatever time it is, We'll be back on there to tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available. We always do that. We've done that from the very beginning, even on weekends. Usually we take the weekends off, but if anything else happens, it's big enough, people need to know about it, we come on there and tell you about it. We've always done that, always since the very beginning, almost 7.5 years ago. Okay, April 3rd, 7.5 years ago, we were first on the air. Been on the air ever since. Guys, we need you. We want you to be here. We want to be able to give you the information you need to protect you and your families. That's primary thing to do. We want to protect all of our family members, wherever you might be, whether it's here in the United States, Central America, South America, Europe, Indonesia, Africa, wherever it might be, we want to protect you and your families. That's paramount. It's absolutely paramount. Okay? Now, please give us a thumbs up as well. Okay? Please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget that. Okay? Also, don't just leave here after 5 or 10 minutes. Don't leave here after 15 or 20 minutes. Okay? Stay here for the majority of the program, or at least all of the program. That would be primary. Okay? Otherwise, you're not going to get the message that we have for you. Tonight, we're going to be talking about earthquakes in Indonesia because we have 300 more earthquakes that have happened today in southern Indonesia. They just don't stop. We're going to talk about the volcanoes that erupted in Indonesia, around the world today. We're also going to talk about earthquakes on the New Madrid Fault. On the New Madrid Fault. Why? Simple reasons this. Simple reasons this. Guys, what's happening? Okay? We still are seeing an increase in earthquakes on the New Madrid Fault. Okay? 4 years ago, people would ask me, Ron, what's going on with the New Madrid Fault? I would say nothing. Nothing's happening. Back in the day, 3 or 4 years ago, all we were seeing were tremors, 1.0 to 1.9 tremors, not even felt. Minor earthquakes, 2.0, 2.9, not felt. But since then, we've been having 3.0 small quakes, 3.0, 3.9. We've also seen this year 4.0 and 4.5 earthquakes in Missouri. Now we're seeing increased seismic activity in Illinois. We're seeing increased seismic activity in Louisiana. It's all over, guys, up and down the fault. From DeRidder, Louisiana on the south, up into and including Decatur, Illinois, and St. Louis, Illinois, in Illinois to the north. We have seen some tremors and minor earthquakes also in Iowa and also in Indiana. Okay, all up and down the entire fault line. We're seeing it. Okay, it's not just tremors and minor earthquakes, it's everything all over. Okay, the New Madrid Fault is about to go. I don't give it much more than 2 years. 2 years before the New Madrid Fault goes. Why am I talking about it now? The simple reason is this: we do not want to wait for the New Madrid Fault to pop. By that time, it would be too late. We want to get the warning voice out right now immediately. That way, people that live in that region have a chance to prepare. And yes, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, everybody here, we have our own EMA family members living on the fault line. We also have our friends and associates living on the fault line. There are millions of people living up and down the entire fault line, guys. Just in Missouri, Arkansas, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, and Louisiana, and Arkansas. There are 5 million people living just there, just on the fault, just there. We go north of there, up into Missouri, up into Illinois, even Oklahoma, because Oklahoma's going to get hit as well. No, it's not on the New Madrid Fault, but it's near it. It's near it. Anybody that's even anywhere close to it's going to get hit. I promise you that. You're going to get hit with the earthquake. a 9.0 earthquake. They're not even saying 8.0 anymore. They're talking about 9.0 energy on the Nomad Fault. Okay, it's a fact. It's going to happen. The last earthquake they said was 7.1, 7.2. Now, the experts are saying that number was fouled. Okay, they said it was probably closer to 8.0, which means now they're saying 8.0 to 9.0 energy. That's a major earthquake. That's a major earthquake. Back in 1810, 1811 time period, when this earthquake first hit, there's very few people even lived here. Very few people even lived here, guys. That's why it's important. Okay? We don't know the number of fatalities or even injuries from people that were living on the Nomad Fault. We don't know how many people drowned when the river swelled, when the river backed up into the area where it's now in Tennessee. Okay? Reelfoot Lake. Reelfoot Lake was a lake back in the day, not until the Nomad earthquake hit. Then the Mississippi River stopped flowing for 7 minutes. The Mississippi River stopped flowing for 7 minutes. Because of that, all the water that was been flowing flowed over into the Tennessee Valley, into what is now Reelfoot Lake. I drove by it on my way from Utah to here. I saw it. It's very evident what happened. Guys, it's possible it could happen again. It's possible it could happen again. Yes, there is a huge resort area around Reelfoot Lake that's built there now. What happens when the Mississippi River starts or stops flowing again? I'm asking that question. I've never asked it before. What happens when the Mississippi River stops flowing again? Is Reelfoot Lake going to be flooded out? Possibly. Other areas as well. Absolutely. Okay? The Mississippi River stopped flowing for 7 minutes. Not just that. When it did flow, the rapids, their waterfalls, and everything else. Okay? Life was disrupted then. With millions of people in that area now, all the way north into Illinois, guys, people are going to be killed. People are going to be unalived. People are going to be injured. USGS is talking 1,800 people injuries when that earthquake hits. Guess what? I think it's going to be 4 or 5 times that. 4 or 5 times that. And the death toll, unimaginable. Totally unimaginable, guys. Okay? That's what we have to see here. I'm not joking about this. I'm not joking around at all. I'm being very serious here. Very, very serious here, guys. Okay? I want you guys to take it seriously. This is important. This is very important. Or I wouldn't be even talking about it. Now, down in Indonesia, they are still having 300 plus quakes there. 300 plus quakes here. Okay? Look at that. I've got 2 different maps here. The first map was from earlier this morning. Okay? A 5.8 earthquake hit this morning. You see it in the bright yellowish brown there on the left-hand side on that slide there. Look at all the earthquakes surrounding it. Those are all aftershocks. Then I decided to do a different kind of slide here, showing the absolute number of earthquakes here. 300 plus earthquakes here still. Still, guys, the number of aftershocks is not going down. It may have even increased. Okay? May have even increased here. That means trouble, guys. That means trouble. Why is that? Why are we going to have trouble here? Anybody tell me why we're going to see trouble here? Simple as this. Let me move this over to the right here. Guys, when we see this happening, okay, there's going to be more and more injured people here. More and more injured people here in Indonesia. The original earthquake was a 7.7 earthquake with a very mild tsunami. Very mild tsunami, a 3-foot tsunami. Could have been a lot worse than that. Could have been upwards of 10 to 20 feet high. That's normal for that type of earthquake. But it wasn't. It wasn't. It could have been, but it wasn't. Now, guys, I'm being very serious here. Other things are in play here as well. Okay? 300 plus earthquakes here. Guess what else has happened? What else has happened here, guys? Anybody tell me? Anybody tell me here? What else is going on in Indonesia and even around the world? What's going on, guys? What's happening? How about volcanoes? Luotobi volcano here. Luotobi volcanoes also erupted here. Not just Luotobi. Semeru volcanoes also erupted. Let me bring that up here as well. Semeru volcanoes also erupted as well. One other volcano here as well. Mount Ibu. Let me show you Mount Ibu here. 3 volcanoes in Indonesia have erupted since last Friday after the 7.7 earthquake. Okay? 3 separate eruptions here, and even more than that. Even more than that. The slide on the right is Mount Ibu. The slide on the lower left-hand side is Semeru volcano. And Mount Ibu is over on the top left. 3 separate volcanoes in the central Indonesia region have erupted since the 7.7 earthquake hit. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this, guys. There's a broad pattern of continuing eruptions, volcanic eruptions, and lower level unrest recorded worldwide with earthquakes worldwide with the volcanoes. With volcanoes. Several volcanoes are at level 3 out of a 4-level system in Indonesia. Level 3 Krakatau volcano. Krakatau volcano between Sumatra and Java, Indonesia. Luotobi volcano. Merapi volcano to the north in Semeru in Sumatra. Several volcanoes also erupted, as you can see here. Okay, Krakatau, Luotobi, Merapi, Ibu, and Semeru volcanoes have erupted. They're all on level 3 standby. They're all on level 3 standby on a 4-level system. That means they've already majorly erupted. Not just those guys. Let's talk about Luotobi volcano. Luotobi volcano, excuse me. Luotobi volcano had an 8,000-foot eruption, 2,400 meters. Flight level 080. Mount Ibu in Halmahera, Indonesia to the north. A 7,000-foot eruption, 2,100 meters high, flight level 070. Luotobi volcano in Sunda Islands. Explosive eruption there, 7,000 foot high, 2,100 meters, Flight level 070. That's 4 volcanoes, guys. 4 volcanoes. Semeru erupted up to 15,000 feet, 4,600 meters high. Flight level 150. Jetliners don't like ash. Jetliners do not like ash. No airplane likes ash. If the ash gets inside the engine at any point in time, which if it flies anywhere near that ash, it'll absorb that ash and crash. So air traffic controllers have to zoom around and make sure those planes don't get anywhere near those volcanic clouds. Okay, Dukono volcano, also in Halmahera, Indonesia. It's also erupted. Dukono usually erupts up to 7,000, 8,000 feet high. Today, Dukono volcano erupted up to 6,000 feet high, 1,800 meters high. Flight level 060. Going up to the north. Going to the north here. Let me take these volcanoes down. Over in the northeastern part of the Pacific Ocean, Earthqiuakes volcano on the Kamchatka Peninsula has erupted. Again, guys. A volcanic ash plume at Earthqiuakes rose up to 23,000 feet high. 23,000 foot eruption. 7,000 meters high. Flight level 230. That ash plume is moving at approximately 35 kilometers per hour in an easterly direction. South there, Sakurajima volcano in southern Japan. It exploded today. Very explosive eruption in Sakurajima volcano. 6,000 foot eruption today. 6,000 foot eruption today. Flight level 060. In Central and South America. Kenneth is here in Central America. Fuego volcano in Guatemala also erupted. Explosive volcanic activities continuing there. The Volcanic Ash Advisory Center has warned of volcanic ash plume from Fuego volcano rising to an estimated 15,000 feet high, 4,600 meters high, flight level 150. Unreal. 15,000 foot eruption. In Colombia, okay? Yes, there are volcanoes over in Costa Rica. I understand that. But right now, today, we don't have anything erupting, I don't believe, in Costa Rica. None of my friends there, Kenneth, you're here in the chat. Kenneth, have you seen anything erupting in Costa Rica? I've got friends there. I haven't heard anybody say anything's erupted in Costa Rica. Pires, Colombia. That volcano erupted, 22,000 foot eruption. 22,000 foot eruption in Pires, Colombia. 6,700 meters high. Flight level 220. In Ecuador to the south. Ecuador has erupted, but there's no observed ash plume height so far available because the volcano at Ventel volcano in Ecuador has been cloud covered. They don't know how high it erupted up today because of cloud cover. They don't know. Ventador volcano also has a twin called Sangay volcano. Usually both volcanoes are erupted at the same time, but so far, at least for the last month, Sangay volcano has not erupted. Okay, they got lucky there. North America also has gotten very lucky. So far, I'm talking so far. We have not had an eruption at Mount Rainier. Mount St. Helens has not erupted yet again. Yet. We have not had a volcano in Western Canada, Vancouver, British Columbia, or even Alberta, Canada. Nothing's happened. We have volcanoes that are rumbling over in Alaska. They also have not been erupted so far this year. They could erupt. They very well could erupt. Now, guys, I know what's going on. Now, I'm going to just pause here for just a minute. Okay? On average, people who've had health insurance have paid through the nose for it. Okay? A lot of people who watch this program pay through the nose for health insurance. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. On average, if you had your health insurance looked at through Chapter, okay? Chapter are insurance agents that don't get paid by commission. The insurance agents at Chapter are paid salaries, not by commission. So anyone that is calling Chapter, anybody that's calling Chapter now has a good chance of getting good health insurance if they're on Medicare. So if you're on Medicare, guys, make sure you go to Chapter. Call Chapter now, okay? 855-900-2427. It's free. It's a free service, 100% free. You don't have to pay them anything. They can save you a lot of money, though. They're 100% licensed insurance agents, unbiased Medicare advisors. No hidden fees, no obligations. Chapter's guidance is absolutely free. They have excellent customer service. I got my health insurance this year through Chapter as well. The representative that helped me was very patient. He explained everything very thoroughly. He was very kind. Medicare itself can be very confusing. I'll be honest with you. Medicare can be very confusing. But my person made sure I was comfortable in making a decision for my health insurance from Medicare. I highly recommend Chapter. Happy Medicare clients have said this. I called Chapter. They're very patient and helpful in sorting out my confusions. Their team took the worry out of what I felt like was an impossible decision. I'm so glad I made the call. Another client said they were great. I didn't have to change anything, but they took the worry out of making my decision. Great customer support. Now, the reason I called Chapter myself, my Medicare insurance would have been with Humana. Humana basically canceled me. Okay? They canceled paying for my doctor because they know my doctor was no longer on their call list. The hospital locally was not on their call list. There is really no other medical hospital anywhere near where I live. So I had to get another insurance company to cover it. I did. Chapter helped me, guys. Chapter helped me greatly. So I highly recommend them. Again, if you have questions with your Medicare insurance, call 855-900-2427 and get connected with a Chapter agent immediately. They can help you make some decisions, help you save some money. That's what this is all about anyway. Saving our bottom dollar on our Social Security. Very important. So again, call Chapter today, 855-900-2487. Thank you for Chapter. God bless you guys. You're great. Getting back to earthquakes now. Lots and lots of earthquakes. Again, let's go back to the USGS map here. Okay. I'm going to take down our EMA banner here. I'm going to take down a webcam so you can see what we're seeing here. Again, I want to remind you all, USGS does not show much of any earthquakes at all. They basically are lying to us. They're basically lying to us, guys. Look what's happened here in Indonesia alone. They show very few earthquakes here in Indonesia. 300 plus earthquakes here. 300 plus earthquakes here. They're showing us 8. They're showing us 8 earthquakes. They're showing us a 5.5 earthquake here. This is the 5.8 that happened earlier today. Okay, 5.8 earthquake, they downgrade to a 5.5. That's preposterous. That's preposterous. Okay, 5.8 earthquake here. Up here to the northwest, a 4.7 here. 4.7 here. 4.7 earthquake here. Down here, this is the 4.6. 47 kilometers north of Rutino, Indonesia. Off the coast again. Off the coast. Far enough away, they probably didn't even feel it here if they lived anywhere near the coastline. Right here. This one's on the coast. 4.4 moderate earthquake here. USGS is saying these are not anything but light earthquakes. I can testify. I have been in 4.4, 4.0, 4.5 earthquakes before. 4.4 earthquakes cause damage. They cause damage. They can knock pictures and things off of walls. They can knock books and knickknacks off of bookcases and tables. They can rattle plates around in your cupboards. And if the earthquake lasts long enough and your cupboard doors aren't secured, guess what? Your plates, your dishes, your glasses can fall out of the cupboards. Books fall off of bookshelves. Knickknacks fall off of tables. Be advised, these kind of earthquakes cause damage. This one was on the coastline here. This little cove area here. It's likely that this was felt on the coastline. Anybody living here in this cove area here. It's highly likely that there are people here. Right here, you see villages here. They may have felt this earthquake. Let's go back out here. This is a 5.8 earthquake here. 5.8 earthquake here. Guys, this is 52 kilometers, about 27 miles, northeast of Ruteng, Indonesia. Again, off the coastline. Now, guys, this being a 5.8 earthquake, people here on the coast may have felt this earthquake as well. They didn't feel the full brunt of the 5.8, but they did feel some shaking here, almost guaranteed. The ocean waters here possibly absorbed some of the shock waves of this quake, but not all of them. It's very close to the shoreline here. Very close to the shoreline. Going further over here to the east, this is the 4.6 earthquake here. 74 kilometers northeast of Ruteng. Okay. This being a 4.6 earthquake, 71 kilometers northwest of Indonesia. It's highly probable nobody felt this earthquake at all. This earthquake here is a 4.8 earthquake. 4.8 earthquake here. 69 kilometers, about 42 miles northwest of Ende, Indonesia. We have another 5.2 earthquake here. This time 66 kilometers northwest of Ende, Indonesia. Off the coast here. They're not even talking about these people here who live in this area here. This is a pretty good large city here. Large city here, guys. This 5.2 earthquake off the coast. Yes, the waters of the ocean here absorb some of the shock waves, but I'm telling you, some people here may have felt some shaking here. Possibly even moderate shaking. Moderate shaking. Now again, this is a third world country. This is a third world country here. They don't have that much money. They live very meagerly. I'm not saying they're beggars, but they live very meagerly. They live on what they grow and what they can catch in the way of fish and stuff. That's how they live. Guys, these poor people. These poor people. But the fact of the matter is, these are not the only earthquakes here. These are not the only earthquakes here. There are over 300 earthquakes in this region. And USGS is not even showing a third of them. Not even close. Not an eighth, not 1/5. This not even 1/5 or 1/8 of the 300 plus earthquakes that hit here today. Okay? Now, I have explained what happened here. Monday and Tuesday, I explained what happened here. Okay? I'm going to bring up our webcam again so I can show you again what happened here with that 7.7 earthquake. Let's back out here. Okay? Look at all these earthquake faults, guys. Look at all these earthquake faults. All throughout this region here. Even over here in Tonga region, Fiji, down here in New Zealand, over here in New Caledonia, Australia even, up here in Vanuatu, the Solomon Islands here, or even Papua New Guinea. This whole region here is affected. There are 7 different tectonic plates in this region. 7 different tectonic plates in this region. All these tectonic plates are subducting. One plate is subducting under the other just like this. One plate is subducting under the other just like this. That's why we have earthquakes here. That's why we're always having earthquakes here. Every day. Every day. And then something else has happened here. Okay? Why do these earthquakes happen like this? Arnold Schmidt's here in the chat. Here in the chat he said, this points to the cosmic radiation that's penetrating the deep parts of Earth's core, causing excessive heat within the core, causing the shell to expand. Solar flares cause plasma radiation to go out into space. Plasma radiation hits the Earth just like this. Earth facing gets hit first. Then the plasma radiation basically surrounds the Earth like this. Everybody, the plants, all the animals, cows, dogs, cats, goats, horses, chickens, small animals as well, feel some of the plasma radiation. It affects everybody. It wilts plants. Last year we had an eruption from the sun with all kinds of excessive plasma radiation, And my plants, including my huge 6-foot plus tomato plant, the leaves were burned. The leaves were burned from plasma radiation. Today, I have another tomato plant 6 feet plus high. Some of the leaves are also burned all around the outer edges. I'm watering it still. So far, I've not only but just gotten one tomato red so far. I've got one other tomato that's just about like this. It's still green. I've got a smaller tomato about like this. It's still green and growing. But those are the only 2 tomatoes, or actually 3 tomatoes we have so far. The red tomato I already took in the house. I'm going to use it tonight. But guys, usually I get a full crop of tomatoes. That's not likely to happen again this year. Okay? Last year got about 45 tomatoes. This year so far I've had 1 and 2 more on the vine. I've had 40 strawberries so far in my garden. Nothing else has come up, unfortunately. Okay? Now guys, plasma radiation does that. Arnold talked about plasma radiation in the earth. Okay? It's not just the plants, animals that feel the effects from radiation. What happens with the tectonic plates and earthquake faults? It's simple, very simple. When the plasma radiation comes through this atmosphere, it heats up the atmosphere as it goes through the air. When it gets to the crust of the earth, it turns all the gunk and grime between the plates and also between the earthquake faults. Earthquake faults and the plates are held together by friction. Friction. When we get that plasma radiation hitting the earth, it goes over here into the crust of the earth, and all that gunk and grime, the rocks, the pebbles, the dirt, the biological material, turns into a greasy, oily-like substance. And as a result, the earthquake faults free and move like this. They freely move like this. The tectonic plates, on the other hand, move like this. They move. That's why we have had the earthquakes that we had. In the Philippines, Japan, southern Japan, Indonesia, in the Middle East, South America, and Central America. What hasn't moved? What has not really moved? Australia here has not had a real huge movement yet. Yes, they've had some tremors. They've had some minor earthquakes on the southwest and the southeast coast of Australia, and even the north coast of Australia up here. They've not really had anything mean yet. South America, Chile's had one large quake, one huge quake here. Argentina's had one large quake. Brazil's had 2 large quakes. Peru has had 2 large quakes. Up here in Colombia, right here, a major quake right here, Cali, Colombia. Prior to that, Caracas, Venezuela. Caracas, Venezuela, major earthquake, just south of Caracas. We're going to see a lot more of them. We're going to see a lot more of them. Already, here off the coast of Panama, we've had 2 large earthquakes here. We had one earthquake off the coast of Nicaragua. We had another earthquake in Guatemala. We've had two large earthquakes here in southern Mexico. More coming. More coming. I'm sure Kenneth has also felt some water earthquakes in Costa Rica where he lives. Excuse me. Costa Rica's had some small earthquakes. They've had some moderate 4.0, 4.9 earthquakes. That's typical. That's very typical. El Salvador, Nicaragua, Guatemala, they've always had moderate earthquakes and large earthquakes as well, but nothing 7.0 yet. Southern Mexico had a 7.0. It's going to happen again. Isn't it ironic here? Isn't it very ironic? USGS is saying Southern Mexico's had one 4.6 earthquake here. It's ironic. There are 36 earthquakes here in Southern Mexico. 36. USGS is showing one. One lousy moderate earthquake. They've got a dozen moderate earthquakes here in Southern Mexico. A dozen. The rest are all 3.0, 3.9 in nature. Small earthquakes. Small earthquakes. That energy is also going north as well. It's going to go north into Texas. It's going north also into California. In the California guys. Texas, on the other hand, has its own issues here. Why are they getting earthquakes in Texas? The simple reason is this. We see earthquakes here in California, guess what happens? The seismic energy comes off the Pacific plate here, goes through the United States here, and every time it hits an earthquake fault, natural earthquake fault, causes the earthquake to move, causes the earth to move here, causing an earthquake. They have a lot of them. Texas, on the other hand, they have man-made earthquake faults. Yes, they have some other natural faults. But for the most part, earthquakes in Texas are man-made fault zones. Man-made fault zones. And as a result, when the seismic energy comes from the Pacific plate through the United States, through the North American plate here, comes over to Texas, the seismic energy finds a drill hole. Yes, a drill hole where they drilled for oil or gas. When the seismic energy gets here to Texas, guess what happens? It fractures the rock inside the drill point, the drill hole. Fractures the rock here, causing an earthquake. Causing an earthquake. Now, guys, yes, I'm showing Midland, Texas here. Why? Because Midland, Texas this year has seen a 5.0 earthquake. Last year, Lubbock, Texas here saw a 5.0 earthquake. Amarillo here has seen 4.5 earthquakes here. Amarillo, Texas. Down here in southeastern Texas here, we see swarms of earthquakes hitting here. That's because we have drill points here. Drill points. We have oil and gas pumping operations going here. Everywhere you see an earthquake here in southwestern Texas, it's a result of man drilling into this crust here to obtain oil and gas from either shale or regular oil deposits, oil and gas deposits here. And when they do that, when they drill in the earth, they make sure that is a man-made earthquake fault. They either drill sideways like this, perpendicular like this, or even straight down. Doesn't matter. Anytime we have a drill hole, that is a man-made earthquake fault. And yes, guys, we do have natural faults here. We do have natural faults. The Rocky Mountains come down through New Mexico here. Rocky Mountains come down here in New Mexico, and they also go in here to southwestern Texas. Natural fault lines, right? Absolutely. Absolutely do. But guys, as of late, and yes, USGS is not showing it here, But down here in, excuse me, down here near San Antonio, south of San Antonio here, we have cities here with earthquakes. They're not showing here today, but we have earthquakes here in Falls City, Texas. Minor tremors, minor earthquakes 2.0, 2.9, 3.0, 3.9 small quakes. Yes, we've seen 5.0 earthquake in Falls City, Texas. They happen because men have drilled into the crust of this earth, drilled holes in there. Seismic energy finds it, fractures the rock in the hole, causing earth movement. That's why it happens. That's why it happens. Oklahoma is the same thing. Oklahoma is the exact same thing here. It's very sad. USGS shows one earthquake here. There are at least a dozen earthquakes here in Oklahoma today, at least. One of my friends, Julissa, on one of several Facebook Messenger threads that are dedicated to this channel, to weather, earthquakes and volcanoes, and other threads on Messenger dedicated to Emergency Management Associates. They talk about these earthquakes all the time. They talk about weather, volcanoes, earthquakes, tornadoes, and hurricanes. Julissa lives here in Texas with her family. All the time, almost every day, she talks about 6 to 10 to 12, 15 earthquakes every day hitting near where she lives every day. Today, USGS is showing this 1.7 tremor here. Our Pillar, Oklahoma. Our Pillar, Oklahoma, guys. Let's look at this. Okay? Let's look at this. Guys, if you are anywhere near one of these oil and gas drill points here, and you should see them on your screen here. These are oil and gas drill points. Let's zoom in here. Here you can just barely see the pumping jack here on the flat. On the plat. Let's see if you can see it here. Nope. Too far away. See if you can see it here. Nope. Too far away. All these plats you see here, squares or rectangles, are oil and gas drill points. Oil and gas drill points here. If an earthquake is within 6 to 10 miles of one of these drill points, it's an oil and gas fracking earthquake. It's an oil and gas fracking earthquake. Again, there are 6 to 12 earthquakes here in Oklahoma today. Today, USGS is showing one tremor here. There are 586,000 pumps and jacks here. 586,000 pumps and jacks in Oklahoma itself. Not in Texas, Oklahoma. Texas, there's probably several million pumps and jacks all throughout Texas. Guys, earthquakes happen all over here as a result of oil and gas fracking operations here. Yes, there are faults as well. And rarely we have earthquakes here on a natural fault. They're mostly oil and gas fracking earthquakes. Okay? Then we come over here to the New Madrid fault. Different story. Completely different story. The New Madrid fault originates down here in the Gulf of America. It originates down here in the Gulf of America. Okay? Notice where it is. Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, and even Oklahoma. A few minutes ago, I talked about Oklahoma. Why am I saying that? Over here in southeast Oklahoma right here, southeastern Oklahoma right here, we have a town called Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yes, here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, we have several EMA family members that live here. In 2011, August 2011, I showed up with a team here to conduct an earthquake drill in Arkansas and Oklahoma. 6 of our team members were over here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We arrived in this region on Friday before the Monday we started the earthquake drill. All of our earthquake drills start on Monday. The day we started the drill, guess what happened? Guess what happened, guys? We had three 3.0, 3.3, and 3.5 earthquakes here in Arkansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma as a result of the pneumatic fault. All 3 earthquakes were a result of the pneumatic fault. Now, guys, weeks ago, I did a presentation about the pneumatic fault. I told you then there are 14 states around the pneumatic fault. 14 states around the pneumatic fault. Every one of those are going to be directly impacted when the pneumatic fault pops with an 8.0 to 9.0 earthquake. All 14 states are going to be impacted by that earthquake, including Texas as well. The last time we had an earthquake on the pneumatic fault, what happened? Up here in Boston, church bells rang here in Boston, December 1811. Church bells rang here in Boston in 1811. It's going to happen again. That earthquake fault, because it is so dangerous and so large, people that live here on the East Coast are going to feel that earthquake. They're going to feel some part of the earthquake. And guys, it's not going to be like a huge cascade earthquake on the West Coast. This earthquake here in the center part of the United States, 8.0, 9.0 energy, you're going to feel 6.0 energy here along the East Coast of North America. You're going to feel it. You folks that live here in Eastern Canada, you might also feel some kind of shaking going on from the pneumatic earthquake. You may feel that. It might come here as well. I'm throwing that out there. I do not have any reports of anybody here in Canada feeling it from that earthquake. However, we did have reports from Boston, Massachusetts. It's very possible, very possible that people here in Canada felt that earthquake. I'm throwing that out there for you. Okay, be aware of it. Houston Dixon, we're glad to have you here. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Now, earlier, guys, Deep Quake Paul gave 5 people here, they're here on the EMA channel today, gave 5 people EMA memberships, EMA 1 memberships here. You guys got them. Deep Quake Paul, I want to thank you for giving these memberships away. God bless you for that. Guys, anybody that got a membership from Deep Quake Paul, please thank him for your membership. Thank him for your membership, guys. It's very much appreciated. Cassandra also gave us a Mr. Gift here. I don't know what it is, but I just gave you an EMA sticker on your membership, on your gift here. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Cassandra. God bless you. I know that we love you. We do. We love all of our people here, all of our EMA family here. Jacqueline Henderson's here. Martha's here. Martha received a gift. Jacqueline received a gift. Crochet Cuteness received a membership here. Miss Penny received a membership here. Deep Quake Paul, thank you for those memberships. Running with Scissors got a membership. Thank you very much, Deep Quake Paul. You're greatly appreciated here. My dear friend Aubrey is here. Aubrey, thank you for being here. God bless you, my sister. Aubrey's a very dear friend of mine. Okay? The rest of this program is going to be devoted to what? The new matter fault. I have a lot of information to give you guys. I have a ton of information here for you. You need to be aware of it. Because, guys, I don't give a flying rat's frosted keister what USGS says. They say the new manifold is probably 25 years or longer before it's going to pop. That's not going to be the case. With the present swelling of energy here, the present swelling of seismic energy here on the center part of the United States here on the new matter fault, I don't think we're going to get much past 2 years before we see this earthquake pop. With again 8.0, 9.0 energy here this time. It's going to happen. And millions more people are going to be affected. The entire this area is in the breadbasket of the United States. What is it meant by that? This area of the United States supplies 50 to 75% of the food to the world. When we have an earthquake here, it's going to devastate this region. It's going to devastate this region, guys. I promise you that. It's going to devastate the region. It's going to devastate this country. The highway systems are going to be interrupted. Holes in the highways, holes in the freeways. Freeways, 4 to 6 lanes in each direction. Highways, 2-lane blacktop. Trucks, cars, transport goods and services all over the country via the highways and byways here through the central part of the United States. For some time period, months, maybe even a year or so, this transportation system will be disrupted. Huge fissures are going to be opening up in the roadways. The highways, the freeways. Transportation systems are going to be disrupted. Communication systems are going to be disrupted. Lives are going to be disrupted. Buildings are going to be flattened. Tall skyscrapers are going to fall. They're going to fall like chalk on a chalkboard. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun for anyone. Guaranteed. It's not going to be fun for anyone. Now, with that said, let me take down the USGS map here. I want to go back here and talk about earthquakes on the new manifold today. Earthquakes on the new manifold today. Guys, this is one seismogram here. Seismograms are the computer readout. Seismograms are the computer readout from computerized seismographs. These are called seismograms. The computer readout showing seismic energy hitting certain areas here. This is Catfish Pond, Arkansas this afternoon. At approximately 1:43 this afternoon, Catfish Pond, Arkansas had a 3.2 earthquake. A 3.2 earthquake. Prior to that earthquake, Catfish Pond had some tremors, a 2.02.3. Then the 3.2 earthquake hit, small earthquake. People here felt it. After that, it had a number of minor earthquakes, 2.0, 2.6, 2.7, 2.4, 2.5, 2.0, and then 1.0 to 1.9 tremors. Then it completely dissipated until after 2 p.m. Between 2:07 and 2:08 this afternoon, you see some minor earthquakes that hit here. Between 2:07 and 2:08 p.m. today, Catfish Pond, Arkansas, minor earthquakes. 2.5 and 2.8, 2.9 earthquakes here. 2.5 and 2.8, 2.9 earthquakes here. First, they experienced a 3.0, 3.2 earthquake. Then they experienced more shaking going on. Now, why did I call this earthquake on the blue a 3.2 earthquake? Out to the right side of this earthquake. That's called secondary shaking, or called secondary wave. The length of the secondary wave will tell us whether this earthquake was larger than it's showing here, which it is. Again, this is at least a 3.2 earthquake, at least. It could possibly even be larger, like a 3.5. These minor earthquakes here, just between 2:07 and 2:08, they're just that, minor earthquakes here. Minor earthquakes and shaking here. Catfish Pond in the past has not just had minor earthquakes, they've had 3.0 and 3.5 earthquakes here before. Often. Unfortunately, this morning nothing happened. Fortunately, they felt some kind of shaking here today. Again, guys, if you don't live in an earthquake area, you're not going to get reminded about what an earthquake feels like. Fortunately, they got reminded today. Why do I say fortunately? The simple reason is this. Maybe you need to be reminded what's going to happen. You need to be reminded what's going to happen, and you need to be prepared for it. Having an earthquake small like this reminds you what the possibilities are, so you can get prepared for it. Get prepared before it happens. Get prepared before it happens. Okay? This is this afternoon in Catfish Pond, Arkansas, along the Mississippi River, along the Nomad Fault. Now, guys, let's go over to Barker Cemetery. Barker Cemetery, Missouri. Gosh. Guys, let me check something here. Yeah. Okay. I have Barker Cemetery in Missouri here. this morning. No, I don't. I don't know why it didn't stick, but I'm going to bring it back anyway. Give me just a second here. You're kidding me. Okay. I'm going to show you Barkus Cemetery this afternoon. This afternoon. Imagine this. Imagine this, guys. Imagine 7 other 3.0 earthquakes here. All morning long from 7 o'clock in the morning until 12 noon. From 7 a.m. to 12 noon, they had 7 3.0 earthquakes here at Barkus Cemetery, Missouri. It happened. Apparently, they're not letting me show you what happened there this morning. This is this afternoon. Just after 1:02 this afternoon, a 2.7 earthquake hit Barkus Cemetery. 7 3.0 earthquakes hit Barkus Cemetery early this morning. 7 small earthquakes. That is significant. That is very significant. Hurricane Heather, you're fine. Hurricane Heather's in the chat. She's got a problem with her eyes I'm not going to go into, but I ask God to bless her. Hurricane Heather is a very dear sister, friend of mine. And we're not blood sister, but we're brother and sister anyway. God bless you, Heather. God bless all of our brothers and sisters worldwide, wherever you might be. If you're ill or afflicted, you need God's blessings, we're sending them to you. Our prayers and thoughts are going to be with you. While we're talking about Heather real quick, I want to mention Rebecca. My friend Rebecca lives here in North Carolina, Lafayette, North Carolina. She's going through cancer treatment. I think she's going through stage 3 cancer treatment. I think it's stage 2 to 3. She needs our prayers as well. Rebecca has her own channel, but she hasn't been doing anything since she's been undergoing this cancer treatment. Pray for our friend Rebecca. She needs our prayers and thoughts as well. Rebecca, if you're watching this or listening to it, thank you also for being here. We love you very much. Anyway, this is Barkus Cemetery. This morning they had 7 3.0 small earthquakes here. That's pretty much normal. Pretty much normal. 2 years ago, those earthquakes were all over the place, anywhere from 10 to 15, 2.0, 2.8, 2.0, 2.8 minor earthquakes. Now those same minor earthquakes, we're still getting hit with minor earthquakes and tremors, but now most of these earthquakes are 3.0, 3.2 small earthquakes at Barkus Cemetery. They happen every day, not just today, but every day. I show this to you at least once a week, but these earthquakes here happen here every day, not just the day I show them to you. Let's look at Bay Village, Arkansas. Bay Village, Arkansas. Here, guys, we're seeing a bunch of tremors here. We're seeing a bunch of tremors here this morning. Some of them are long duration term activity. That means the seismic energies continue to move, not just hitting here, there, but the seismic energy is moving. It's ongoing. It's ongoing here, guys. I want to get that through to all of us. The seismic energy is moving always. Always. This afternoon, the same way here. But here this afternoon after 2 p.m., 2, 3, 4, 5, after 2:05 p.m., minor earthquakes. Start off with a couple of tremors, 1.0, 1.3, then 2.0, 2.5, 2.6 earthquakes, 2.5, 2.6 earthquakes here in Bay Village, Arkansas. Okay? Every day. Let's go over here to Black Oak, Arkansas, 17 miles east of Jonesboro. Jonesboro is almost directly on the Pneumatic Fault. This is 17 miles east of there. Look at this. This morning, guys, this morning here. I'm going to raise this up so you can see it. Okay? Just after 8:15 this morning. 8:15 over on the left-hand side of this red line. Over here, we're at 8:26 a.m. this morning on the red line. Tremors, right after 8:26, all of a sudden we have 2.6, 2.7 earthquake, minor earthquakes. Then immediately goes down to tremor activity again. Tremors activity you're not going to even feel. 2.6, 2.7, you're not going to feel that either. Then, after 2:30, actually, not 2:30, I'm sorry, after 7:30 this morning, over here now we are at 7:40 this morning, 3.0 earthquake, probably 3.2 earthquake, 3.2 small earthquake here. Black Oak, Arkansas, 17 miles east of Jonesboro. Okay? On the Pneumatic Fault. The Pneumatic Fault is moving, guys. It's moving. Yes, we are getting 3.0 activity here. All over. All over. Let's go down a little bit south to Hetachikoon, Arkansas. Hetachikoon, Arkansas here. Look at this, guys. Here in Hetachikoon, Arkansas, in the past weeks we've been here, visiting here in Hetachikoon, we've seen a lot of 3.0 small earthquakes. Today here in Hetachikoon this morning, all we had here were tremors. Tremors. And then right before 11:45, we had a minor 2.0 earthquake. Minor 2.0 earthquake. Then back down to tremors again. Hetachikoon, Arkansas. Like I said, we've had 3.0 earthquakes here in Hetachikoon, Arkansas before. Many days with small earthquakes. Okay? Hetachikoon, Arkansas this afternoon. All we had here this afternoon were tremors and minor earthquakes. Upwards of 2.4, 2.5 earthquake here. That's it. Not very big at all. Nobody felt anything here. Nobody felt anything at all. But I'm showing it to you anyway. Let's look at South Manila, Arkansas now. South Manila, Arkansas. I've explained how these seismograms appear here before. Every seismogram I show you, doesn't matter whether it's in the North Pacific Northwest, doesn't matter whether it's in California, doesn't matter where it is, at night, before the seismologists go home, they turn down the computerized seismograph. They turn the electronics down. So it's not going to record anything major that happens during the nighttime. If something happens and it's strong, it might show up only as a tremor. That way scientists don't have to explain themselves when they come in the morning. After they come in the morning, they turn the seismograph electronics back up. So the seismograph is actually reporting something. Sometimes it's not turned up enough to report much of anything. However, in this case, Manila, South Arkansas. Yes, we're seeing a lot of tremors here. But after 8:30 this morning, 8:34 this morning, actually 8:33 this morning, we had some tremors, minor earthquakes, 2.4, 2.5 earthquakes. Then 8:34 this morning, 3.3 earthquake hit. Multiple 3.3 earthquakes hit here in Manila, South Arkansas. 3.3 earthquakes here, guys. Multiple. The seismic energy here lasts about 5 to 10 seconds. That's a pretty long time, realistically. People here in their beds or waking up or going to work felt this earthquake. So kind of soft shaking. Soft, tiny shaking here. They felt it. 3.3 earthquake. Let's look at Manila, South Arkansas this afternoon. Look at this. This is all tremor activity. I don't even think we had a minor earthquake here. This is all 1.0 to 1.9 tremors here, not felt. Tiny tremors. Manila, South Arkansas typically has a bunch of minor earthquakes, 2.0, 2.9. We have a bunch of 3.0, 3.5 earthquakes here as well. Again, the new manifold is alive and well. Okay? With that said, let's go look at Marktree, Arkansas. Marktree, Arkansas. This is just south of Jonesboro. Look what we're seeing here. This happens every day. Most of the time, we have 7 to 8 3.0, 3.3 earthquakes every day. Every morning here. From midnight until 11 a.m. in the morning, actually 11:30, 11:45 in the morning, we have 6 to 8 3.0 earthquakes here. Today, we've had 2 here. Today, we may have had 2 here. This one happened here early this morning. We had some tremors happen right after 2 a.m. this morning. 3 minutes later, 2.5, 2.6, 2.7. Shortly after that, seconds after that, at least a 3.0, 3.5 earthquake. Notice this earthquake sequence here. The top and the bottom of this sequence has been cut off. That means this earthquake sequence was stronger than they're showing it. Also notice this. This earthquake lasted 1, 2, 3 minutes. 3 minutes worth of shaking here. That's quite a distance here. Quite a time difference here. How would you like to be here in Marktree, Arkansas, or anywhere else? Having an earthquake that lasts 3 to 5 minutes. Yes, that's typically the time these earthquakes last. 3 to 5 minutes long every time. Here in Marktree, Arkansas, this happens anywhere from 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 times every morning. Every morning, guys. I've documented this over the last 7.5 years I've been on this program. The last 3 years, we've had these earthquakes here. The last 3 years, we've had these earthquakes here in Marktree, Arkansas. You guys have seen it. You guys have seen it here. Let's look at Marjorie, Arkansas this afternoon. Oh, you're kidding. You've got to be kidding me. Hold on a second, guys. I know for a fact, these earthquakes hit here. Okay, that's why. I remember why. We don't have a seismogram for this afternoon. It's blank. The seismologist turned it off this afternoon. After the seismogram was filling this morning, they turned it off for this afternoon. That's why we don't have anything to show you this afternoon. They turned the darn thing off. That's pretty sad. That's pretty darn sad. They turned the darn seismograph off. Look where they turned it off here. Look where they turned it off. About 11:40 this morning here. About 11:40 this morning here. You can see it down here at the top, the bottom line, on the bottom red line here. Okay? Actually, it wasn't even then. Okay? 11:25 this morning, they turned it off. Unreal. The last recorded earthquake happened just after 11:20 this morning. 11:20 this morning. 2.93 points of earthquake this morning. Then they turned off at 11:25. That's sick. That's sick. I've never had that happen before now. I've been doing this how long? 7.5 years. They turn these seismographs off rarely. Yes, it does happen, but it's rare. It's very rare. Now, I want to go over to Memphis, Arkansas. Right between Little Rock and the Mississippi River. Right between Little Rock and the Mississippi River is Memphis, Arkansas. They have a community college here called West Memphis, Arkansas. They have a seismograph here. You can actually see the seismic waves here. See these long duration tremors? There's no magma here, guys. There's no magma at all. These thick lines are actually tremors here. Tremors here. And this morning here, you actually see earthquakes hitting. Minor earthquakes 2.0, 2.9, even 3.0 earthquakes hitting here in Memphis, Arkansas. Memphis, Arkansas this afternoon right here. Look at this. Minor earthquakes here in Memphis, Arkansas, alongside the New Madrid Fault. Right alongside the western side of the New Madrid Fault here. All the earthquakes in Arkansas, so far the earthquakes you've seen in Missouri, happened on the western side of the New Madrid Fault. I've not even shown you the eastern side of the New Madrid Fault yet. I'm going to in just a few minutes. Let's go over to north central Arkansas. North central Arkansas. At least once a week I show you this city here. It's called Ozark Folk Center. Ozark Folk Center. Guess what? They have earthquakes here all the time. All the time. And as early as 8 a.m. in the morning. However, like I said, the seismologists come in the morning, then they decide they're going to turn up the seismograph. They electronically turn it down before they left. They turn it back up when they come back to work. In this case, I do not think they even turned it up at 8 o'clock this morning. I don't think they turned it up at 8 o'clock this morning. Why do I say that? There's hardly anything to show here, even after 7 a.m. Tiny tremors here. Tiny tremors here. Ozark Folk Center here has a lot of 3.0 earthquakes every day. Every day here. You guys have only seen one, actually not even that. Actually, no, just seen one minor earthquake. One minor earthquake here this morning. After 10:33 this morning. A 2.6, 2.7 earthquake. However, at 8:28 this morning, on the red line, on the right-hand side, you're seeing 3.2, 3.3 earthquakes there. Multiple earthquakes. This earthquake energy lasted 45 seconds. 45 seconds, guys. 3.2, 3 maybe. I don't think it was 3.3. I think it was 3.2 energy here. An earthquake lasted 45 seconds. That's a particularly long time. Anybody that was in their bed, anybody that was waking up, anybody that's in their office at 8 o'clock in the morning, they felt the ground move. They felt the floor move. Then after 8:30, a 3.3, 3.4 earthquake hit. After 8:30 this morning, a 3.3, 3.4 small earthquake hit. First, the seismic energy lasted about 5 seconds. Then it went down to a 2.6, 2.8. Then right back up to 3.3 status here. Right back up to 3.3 small earthquake status for about another 2 or 3 seconds. That's a significant period of time as well. Then the next period we see here, where we see the seismic energy here besides the tremors, you're not going to feel tremors. The next time we see earthquakes here is after 9:45 this morning. We come across this timeline, 9:46, 9:47, 9:48, 9:49, 9:50 this morning. 9:50 this morning. This sequence lasted about 15 seconds with minor earthquakes. Minor earthquakes were about 2.6, 2.7, 2.8. Lasted about 15 seconds. Then we had 3.3 or 3.0 earthquakes. 3.0 earthquakes lasted a couple of seconds. Then everything dropped out. Went very, very much down to tiny tremors again. For about another 45 seconds. Then the 3.0 energy kicked back in. You can see here, back-to-back earthquakes. Literally back-to-back earthquakes again. After that, we have some minor earthquakes here. And that's all. But again, usually we have anywhere between 6 and 8 3.0 earthquakes here every day, every morning. Every morning. Let's take a look at Ozark Folk Center this afternoon. Right here. This is what I'm talking about. Okay? At 12 noon over on the left-hand side, we see tremors going across the black line here. That is 12 noon to 12:15. The red line is 12:15 to 12:29. The blue line is 12:30 to 12:44. The green line is 12:45 to 1 p.m. Now, over here at 12:50, 12:49 this morning, this afternoon, 12:49 this afternoon. 3.3 energy here. 3.3 earthquake hit here in Ozark Folk Center this morning. 2+ minutes later, we had another earthquake, another 3.3. Again, it lasts about 5 seconds, back-to-back earthquakes. You can see them there. About 50 seconds later, another 3.3 earthquake hit. Back-to-back lasts a couple seconds again. Then it drops down to 1.9 tremor, and then back down to basically nothing. And the rest of the afternoon here in Ozark Folk Center, all we see here are tremors. Fascinating, huh? It really is. I'm not done, guys. I'm not done. Let's leave Ozark Folk Center here now. I want to go to Portage Open Bay, Missouri. Portage Open Bay, Missouri here. Look at this. Again, USBS and the other seismologists leave work, turn off or turn down the seismographs. In this case, they turned it way down, but they didn't turn it back up on a regular basis. They waited. They waited. We have a tiny bit of tremor activity after 4:45 this morning. Actually, 3:45 this morning. On the green line here, you see it. Then the next time you see any activity, it's after 7 a.m. They did not turn up all the way up until after 6 o'clock. They did not turn it back up until after 6 o'clock this morning. After 7:02 this morning, we see some tremor activity on the black line. Then we have a 3.0 earthquake. 3.0 small earthquake. Then we have another 2.8, 2.9, very tiny, thin lines. Then back down to tremors. Over on the right-hand side, 6:14 this morning, tremors billion to 2.2 earthquakes, minor earthquakes, then back down to nothing. On the next red line on the left-hand side. Now we're at 7:15. We have some tremor activity. That nearly goes away to 1.0 tremors for 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes later, we have some tremors. Then we have a 2.6 earthquake. 2.6 earthquake, but it goes back down to tremors very quickly. What happens after that? 7:30 this morning on the blue line, nothing. Tiny tremors. 7:45, 7:46, tremors building to minor earthquake, 2.7, 2.8 earthquake, back down to tremors again. All along that 7:45 green line there, all along that green line, you see tremors and minor earthquakes hitting here until 7:53 this morning. 7:53 this morning, we have some 2.8, 2.9 earthquakes. Just after 7:53, we have our first 3.2 earthquake. First 3.2 earthquake here. Portage, Open Bay, Missouri. Look all the long line up to the right there. More tremors and more small earthquakes. More tremors and more small earthquakes. On the next black line, we see 8 o'clock in the morning. 8:01 this morning, 3.0 earthquake again. Then we go almost all the way across to the right. At approximately 8:12 this morning, we had some tremors building up to 3.0 earthquakes again, off and on for the next 2 to 3 minutes. Unreal. 9:15 we have tremors. 9:30 on the blue line. More tremors and minor earthquakes. On the next green line, 9:45, nothing but tremors. Maybe one minor earthquake. One minor earthquake about 9:50. Next black line, 10 a.m., nothing. 10:15 goes on. About 10:20 this morning, 2.8, 2.9 earthquake. Then more tremors. About a minute and a half later, 3.0, 3.2 earthquake. 2.9, 3.0, 2.8, 2.7, 2.5, and more tremors. 10:31, minor earthquake again. 2.5, 2.6 minor earthquake. Then we have tremors all the way down here to 11:30. All the way down to 11:30. Just after 11:35, 2.5, 2.6 earthquake. Going back down to 2.0. About 20 seconds later, another 1.9, 2.0, back up to 2.6, 2.7. Then we have some tremors. We have a couple 2.0 earthquakes, nothing but tremors the rest of the morning here. Portage, Open Bay, Missouri. This morning. Incredible, huh? It really is. Nothing this afternoon. Then, south of Marktree, Arkansas. Go to a town called Truman, Arkansas. South of Marktree. Truman, Arkansas, we start seeing some earthquakes. So look at this. Early this morning. Early this morning. In this case, the seismologist just left the seismograph back where it's supposed to be, giving us earthquakes. Okay? Just after midnight until after 1:45 this morning, tiny tremors, long duration tremor activity. 2:15, nothing. Until we get over to 2:12, 2:13, 2:14 this morning. Tremors, and then it builds into minor earthquakes. 2.4, 2.5. Then what happens after 2 o'clock, 2:30 this morning? 2:30 this morning on the blue line. Okay? It starts off at 2:14. I'm sorry, 2:29 on the red line on the right-hand side. 2:29. 2:30, we will build up to 2.7, 2.8. Right before 2:31, we have our first 3.0 earthquake. Then we have a 3.3, 3.4 earthquake. Look at that on the blue line here. 3.3, 3.4 earthquake here. Multiple earthquakes back to back. For the next minute and a half, minute 45 seconds, 3.3, 3.4 earthquakes hitting here. Then it comes down to 2.9, 3.0 for a little while, several seconds, maybe 10 seconds. Drops down to minor earthquakes again, 2.7, 2.8, 2.0. Tremor activity, long duration, 3-minute tremor activity session here, then back down to almost nothing. More tremors throughout the morning. More tremors all during the morning here. Then we come down here to 10:29 a.m. this morning on the red line. 3.1 earthquake. 3.1 earthquake. Now, after that 10:29 this morning, on the blue line on the left-hand side, 10:30, tiny tremors. Tiny tremors for about 6 to 7 minutes. Then we have some minor earthquakes, 2.6, 2.7 earthquake. Then nothing else but minor earthquakes and tremors here the rest of the morning. That's all. That's all that happened here. But we're not done here. This is still Arkansas. Truman, Arkansas in this case. Truman, Arkansas this afternoon. From 12 noon to 2:30, nothing but tremors. We come across 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes later. 2:36 this afternoon. 2.3, 2.4 earthquake. Minor earthquake. Minor earthquake. Not felt. Truman, Arkansas. Truman, Arkansas. From there, I want to go further south to Tyrons, Arkansas. Here in Tyrons, Arkansas, we are still seeing the same kind of activity here that we saw in Truman, that we saw over in Marktree. But it is markedly more activity. It's markedly more activity in this case. Okay? On this blue line here, all morning long, probably all night long last night, the seismologist turned down the seismograph, so it's hardly showing any activity here. Then here after 6:30 this morning, we see some tremors. 6:35 this morning, 3.3 earthquake. 6:35, we have 3.3 earthquake here. Then more tremors and more minor earthquakes, 2.2, 2.3 earthquakes. Then we come over here after 9:30 this morning, 3.1 earthquake. 9:30, 3.1 earthquake. Then back down to tremors for a time period. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. Then we have our next 3.0 earthquake. Start off with tremors, builds right up to 3.0 earthquake and drops back down immediately. On the next green line here, right below that, quietness, tiny tremors, until we get over here to 9:57. 9:57, we have a 2.8, 2.9 earthquake here. 2.8, 2.9 minor earthquake. On the next black line, 10:01 a.m. this morning, 3.3 earthquake here. Tyrons, Arkansas. Again, this is right next to the new Madrid fault here. We're still having 3.0 earthquakes here alongside the new Madrid fault. Look at that. Tyrons, Arkansas. Okay? I'm just making this seismogram smaller here because I want to show you the entire seismogram here. I'm going to bring up Tyrone, Arkansas this afternoon, right here. Okay? Again, the seismograph is still turned up here. The top line here on the left-hand side is 12 noon. We've come across here to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes later. 2.93 points earthquake here. 12:06 p.m. this afternoon. At 12:32 this afternoon. 2.93 points earthquake here. Interesting. On the next green line here, tremor activity. Next black line here after 1 p.m., tremor activity. On the next red line, tremor activity over here to the right. Then we suddenly have a 3.3 earthquake again. Okay? This is 127 actually, 1:27 p.m. this afternoon. 3.3 earthquake. After that, on the next blue line here, minor earthquakes again. 2.5, 2.6, 2.7 minor earthquakes. And that's all that happened here today. Arkansas, guys. Now, I want to take you up to Illinois. I've shown you seismic activity in Arkansas and Missouri. Yes, I'm going to show you seismic activity in Tennessee in just a few minutes. I want to take you up north to Illinois. Illinois, guys. You're going to get blown away by this. McClure, Illinois. Look at this. It's not just Decatur, Illinois that's having earthquakes here. Responsible to the pneumatic fault. This is McClure, Illinois. Look here, guys. Yes, we're having some minor earthquakes, 2.0 to 2.9. We are also having 3.0 earthquakes here all day long. All day long. Our first 3.0 earthquake hit here just after 1:17 this morning. 1:17 this morning. 3.0 earthquake. We are seeing all kinds of 2.0, 2.9s. We're seeing 3.0, 3.3 earthquakes here. On this bottom green line here. On the bottom green line at approximately 11:50 this morning, 3.3 earthquakes here. Okay? 11:50, 11:51 this morning, 3.3 earthquakes hitting here today. Today. McClure, Illinois. Guess what? It's not just there this morning. It's here this afternoon. Look at this. Look at this. Yes, there are some minor earthquakes here, but the majority of this seismic activity is 3.0 to 3.5. 3.0, 3.5 earthquakes here this afternoon. McClure, Illinois. Like I said, the entire fault line from Louisiana at the Gulf of America all the way north to Illinois, Indiana, and even Iowa is shaking. Shaking, guys, all the time. Let me show you Decatur, Illinois this morning. Yes, Decatur, Illinois is seeing tremors here. You can see it up at the top. Yes, they're seeing tremors. They're also seeing minor earthquakes. Look at the top black line here on the right-hand side. Those two earthquakes are minor earthquakes. 2.4, 2.5, 2.6 minor earthquakes. Then throughout this diagram here, the terms begin to be minor earthquakes, 2.0, 2.9. You also see 3.0, 3.5 earthquakes hitting here. This morning, guys. Unreal. The north end of the New Madrid Fault, shaking like a leaf. I'm not kidding. Look at this afternoon here. All afternoon here, we have minor earthquakes and 3.0, 3.4 earthquakes here. All afternoon. You can see it here. Okay? 2.2, 2.5, 2.7, 2.9, 3.0, 3.3, and 3.5 earthquakes all afternoon long. That's crazy, guys. That's crazy. As I said, the New Madrid Fault is moving. It's moving in a big way, a huge way. Okay? No, we have not seen some moderate earthquakes, not yet. Yes, we saw it 2 months ago. We did see some 4.5 and 4.6 moderate earthquakes here 2 months ago. However, we're going to see it again. I feel it's very soon. Looking at this seismic activity we're seeing here in Illinois especially, we're going to see 4.0, 4.5 activity here very soon. Then 5.0 large quakes, shaking people up really bad. Okay? Small earthquakes, yes, you feel the ground move beneath you. You might see your furniture creep along the floor if it's a large enough small earthquake. 3.5 to 3.9 small quake. Okay? You can feel the ground or floor move. 4.0 activity, guys. The ground is still moving, but now it's going to do some damage. Okay? That's going to happen. Okay? Now, I told you I was going to show you Tennessee. I'm going to do that in a second. Let's go down to DeRidder, Louisiana. DeRidder, Louisiana this morning. The top 3 hours here, we hardly saw any activity at all. We started seeing moderate earthquake activity at about 3:10 this morning. 3:09, 3:10 this morning. Minor earthquake activity. I put 2.5, 2.6. Look what happened after that. Southern Louisiana, just north of the Gulf of America. Look what we're seeing, guys. Tremors, yes. Minor earthquakes, absolutely yes. And yes, you can see that we're seeing some 3.0 small earthquakes here, hitting here in DeRidder, Louisiana this morning. You can see it here. Okay? How about DeRidder, Louisiana this afternoon? Right here. These are definitely tremors and minor earthquakes here. I do not see any 3.0 earthquakes here this afternoon, but we do have minor earthquakes here. 2.0, 2.9 here in DeRidder, Louisiana. Non-stop shaking. Non-stop shaking, side to side, top to bottom. That's what I want to show you here. The seismic energy doesn't stop. Doesn't stop shaking. That should send chills through your soul. This should send chills through your soul, ladies and gentlemen. Earth doesn't stop shaking. You live here. Earth doesn't stop shaking. Let's look at Tennessee now. I want to take you over to Decatur, Tennessee. Decatur, Tennessee here. Look at this, guys. Yes, we do have some tremors here. You all see areas where the seismologist turned off the seismograph. Seismograph is a computer readout. The seismograph is a machine. They turn the darn thing off. Then we have some tremors. We have one minor earthquake here this morning. One minor earthquake here about 10:20 this morning. 10:20, 10:21 this morning. 2.6, 2.7 earthquake. These others are tremors minor 2.0, 2.2 earthquakes. That's it. Decatur, Tennessee. Before last week, I didn't even realize we had a Decatur, Tennessee. Guess what we have this afternoon? More tremors here as well. On the pneumatic fault in Tennessee, Western Tennessee. Okay. Let's go over to the north side of Tennessee, to Ridgely, Tennessee. Ridgely, Tennessee this morning. As with most other seismographs, they're turned down at night, turned back up after the seismologists come back to work. That's the same thing here. Ridgely, Tennessee. Yes, guys, we do see some minor earthquakes and tremors here. They're happening here. We've had 3.0 earthquakes here before in Ridgely, Tennessee before. Today, the largest earthquakes we're seeing are minor earthquakes. 2.0, 2.5 minor earthquakes here. Ridgely, Tennessee. This afternoon, the same thing. Here we've just seen tremors here in Ridgely, Tennessee. Now, guys, a little bit north of Ridgely, Tennessee, alongside the pneumatic fault, right beside the pneumatic fault, Tippmanville, Tennessee this morning. Look at this. This is where it gets hot. Okay? Yes, it's in Tennessee. Prior to 6 a.m. this morning, the seismologists had turned down the seismograph, so it's not reporting anything at all. Then they turned up. We start seeing some tremor activity. Then, 7 a.m. this morning, on the black line, you can start seeing some minor earthquakes here. The other earthquakes after that basically shroud what happened after 7 a.m. this morning. I think for the most part, though, were just minor earthquakes. 2.0, 2.9 earthquakes. After that, the crap hit the fan. Okay? 7:15 on the red line. 2.5, 2.7, 2.8, 2.9, 3.0 earthquakes. 7:30, 7:31, almost 7:32. 3.0 earthquakes again. The next green line is basically shrouded, but we probably had some minor earthquakes after 7:45, between 7:45 and 8. 8 a.m. is basically shrouded from the 8:15 line. 8:15 line is here. We have some minor earthquakes, and we also have some 3.0, 3.2 earthquakes here. Small earthquakes here this morning. Small earthquakes here this morning at Tiptonville, Arkansas. They basically happen on and off all morning long, the rest of the morning. Off and on all the rest of the morning long until after 10:30 this morning. after 10:30 this morning. 10:32, we still had some 3.0 earthquakes happening, but basically shut down after that to just show tremors here. Showing tremors here this morning. Okay? Tiptonville is shaking here. Tiptonville, Arkansas is shaking here. This afternoon, after 12 noon, all we saw here are tremors. Nothing but tremors here. Then we started seeing some minor earthquakes after 12:45, 12:48, 12:49. Then after 1 p.m., tremors, minor earthquakes, 2.0 earthquakes. Tremors after 1:15. Then we start seeing aftershocks, or not aftershocks, I'm sorry. We start seeing minor earthquakes after 2:30, 2:45, 2:54. 2:54 this morning, we had 3.0 earthquake here. That was multiple earthquakes, lasted about almost 2 minutes. Almost 2 minutes of 3.0 activity. Then dies off to tremor activity again. Then, after 3 p.m. on the black line, we have tremor activity. Okay? Just before 3:07. Just before 3:07 this afternoon. 3.3 earthquake here. 3.3 earthquake lasts about 10 or 15 seconds. And dies down to minor earthquake activity. 2.5 minutes later, we jump back up to 3.2 activity again for another 10 or 15 seconds. Then it drops down to 2.8, 2.9, 2.7, back down to tremors again. We go across to the right-hand side. 3:13 this afternoon. 2.9, 3.0 earthquake again. 2.9, 3.0 earthquake again. That lasts about 15 seconds. Dies down for a few seconds to tremors. And then right back up to 2.8, 2.9 earthquake again. Tiptonville, Tennessee, guys. Prior to this, I've never seen this happen before. Never happened before. Yes, Tiptonville, Tennessee has had some 3.0 earthquakes, but not like this. They've had some minor earthquakes, but not like this. Yes, they've had all kinds of tremors, but not like this. Seismic energy is building here. Seismic energy is building here. It's going crazy. It's going crazy, guys. I'm telling you. It's going crazy. I want to go all the way to the east, eastern Tennessee, to the eastern Tennessee seismic zone, which is actually the southern part of the eastern continental divide. The southern part of the eastern continental divide. Hopper, Tennessee. Hopper, Tennessee, guys. This is the eastern continental divide here in Hopper, Tennessee. Yes, we're seeing tremors here. We're seeing some minor earthquakes. But today, after 8:15, 8:16 this morning, 2.9, 3.0 earthquake here. 2.9, 3.0 earthquake here on the southern end of the Tennessee seismic zone, on the southern continental divide. Earthquakes happen here as well. Let me show you this afternoon. This is Hopper, Tennessee this afternoon. Basically the same thing, except in this case, on the blue line after 2:30 this afternoon, we come over here to 2:29 on the blue line. Here we're seeing full-fledged 3.03.1 earthquake. 3.03.1 earthquake. Then it continues over here to 1 p.m. on the black line on the left-hand side. 3.03.1 earthquake here. After that this afternoon, we had some tremor activity here. Minor earthquakes too. 2.6, 2.7, 2.8. Then, over in the center on the black line here, after 2 p.m., we have 2:09 p.m. here. 2.8, 3, or excuse me, not 2.8, 2.9, 3.0 earthquake here. 2:09 p.m., Hopper, Tennessee, the southern end of the Eastern Continental Divide. Earthquake skies. This is what's happening. This is what's happening on the Eastern Continental Divide. Going up from Tennessee, going into North Carolina, or South Carolina, North Carolina, West Virginia the same way. The same way, guys. West Virginia is having earthquakes as well. Yesterday I heard from actually Sunday evening, I heard from a woman in Western Virginia. She advised me that they have earthquakes there as well. Lots of earthquakes. Lots of earthquakes. Minor earthquakes, 2.0 to 2.9 earthquakes every day. She also advised me that they had had a sinkhole. Now, guys, Indiana has had a lot of rain. Iowa's also had a lot of rain. Wisconsin, Michigan have had a lot of rain. That rain has gone across to the east coast, gone across to the east coast. Virginia's also had a lot of rain. West Virginia's had some rain. Guess what it's caused? The rain has undermined the roadway. They've started to see some sinkholes in the roadway. Sinkholes in front yards, in business parks. That's what happens when you have flooding like that. Sinkholes develop, guys. Sinkholes do happen. Even in San Diego, California. Back right before I left there. Right before I left there. I still have friends in San Diego. Dear friends are still police officers there. My family's there. My cousins are there as well. One of my sons is there. Guys, we're having earthquakes. Lots of earthquakes. Lots and lots of earthquakes. What's going to happen, guys? What's going to happen? We are still expecting a major earthquake in Southern California. We're expecting a Cascadia earthquake any day now. I don't think it's going to happen before 5 years, but it's any day. Any day. On the New Madrid Fault, it's any day. Might not happen for another year or two, but it's literally any day. Put the word out now to your family, your friends, neighbors that live over here on the New Madrid Fault or anywhere near it to be prepared. Start making some plans. Get your 72-hour kits together. Get your emergency preparedness kits together. You're going to need it. You're going to need it very soon. Very, very soon. Now, guys, with the 7.7 earthquake in Indonesia that I showed you, I keep showing you 300 plus earthquakes every day for the past 4 days. 4 days. 4 long days of 300 plus earthquakes a day. Not even small earthquakes. These are moderate 4.0 to 6.5 earthquakes. Moderate 4.0 to 4.9 moderate earthquakes, 5.0 to 5.9 large earthquakes, 6.0 to 6.8 earthquakes every day there in southern Indonesia. Now let's spread that out a little bit. I showed you other earthquakes in South America, other earthquakes in Europe. Guess what? The United States of America is next. The USA and Canada are next. Get ready, guys. It's going to happen. I've been talking about this for 7.5 years now. 7.5 years. Is anybody listening to me? I hope to shout you are. Get ready, guys. People say it's not going to happen to me. It's going to. It's going to happen to you and me. I live on the Eastern Continental Divide. A year before I got here, they had a 5.0 earthquake in Sparta, North Carolina, about an hour and a half north of where I live, on the Eastern Continental Divide. I live on the Central Continental Divide in North Carolina, in the Blue Ridge Mountains of the Continental Divide. It's going to happen to me as well. The year after I got here, Morganton had a 4.5 earthquake here. Morganton, North Carolina, where I live, had a 4.5 earthquake. It's going to get bigger. It's going to be getting bigger, guys. I promise you that. Are you folks ready? If not, why not? If not, you better get there. And you better get there soon. Okay? I'm not threatening you. I'm telling you it's going to happen. I'm advising you that it's going to happen. I'm a consultant. I've consulted companies. I've consulted HOAs. I have consulted with neighborhoods. I've consulted with businesses and cities. These earthquakes are coming to see you as well. Fact. Fact, guys. Get ready, it's going to happen. I'm into this program right now. I didn't have time to do this before this last couple of days because we had some very bad thunderstorms here, but it's clear out here, kind of hazy out here right now. Of course, it's almost, 8:05, starting to get dark. I'm going to Acts chapter 6. Acts chapter 6, starting with chapter 2, where Christ calls his apostles. Christ called his apostles. Then the 12 called the multitude of the disciples unto them. The 12 apostles called the disciples unto them and said, it is not reason that we should leave the word of God and serve tables. Wherefore, brethren, he wasn't just, the apostles were not just talking to men, they were talking to the sisters as well. Wherefore, brethren, look ye out among you 7 men of honest report, full of the Holy Ghost and wisdom, whom ye may appoint over this business. But we will give ourselves continually to prayer and to the ministry of the word. We're going to give ourselves continually to prayer and to ministry of the word. The 12 apostles in Jesus Christ were talking to us, you and me, to be continually in prayer for ourselves and others, our family members, our friends, our neighbors, continually in prayer and ministry to others, spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ, helping our neighbors, being ministers unto others. Not just spreading the gospel, but being ministers, helping our neighbors, our friends, and everybody else around us. That's what we should be doing, always and forever. We have a lot of nonsense going on all around us, all around our world, all around our various towns and cities, all around our nations. Yes, it's happening. We don't have to be part of it. We're living in a world of confusion. We don't have to be part of the confusion. Stand up for what we believe in. Stand up and be counted. Stand up against the communists. Stand up against the Muslims, the violent Muslims in our society, the people who want to take over cities and counties and their governments. Stand up to them. Do not let them do it. Do not let them do it, guys. It's up to us to bring in the second coming of Jesus Christ. It's up to you and me. It's our responsibility. May God bless us. May God be with us this day and always. If anything happens tonight, we'll be back on there to tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available, tonight or in the morning. Tomorrow afternoon, expect us between 4 and 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for another episode of Emergency Management Associates. Please, guys, just below this video here on the bottom of your screen, you see our PayPal locations here. Please spread your wealth to us as well. We need your help to keep this program on. We have our PayPal program here, 2 different PayPal addresses. Go there and donate to us as well. You see our address here scrolling across the bottom of your screen as well. Send us a letter, send us a card, and in that, put a check or even cash and send it to us as well. We'd appreciate your help. Leave us a positive comment after this program is over in the comment sections here on YouTube. God bless you, and I say that very willingly because I love you all. God be with you until we meet again. We'll see you on the other side. Take care, everybody. God bless you. See you soon. Take care. Good night.
Here at Emergency Management Associates, we're dedicated and true, bringing you the essential knowledge, helping you see things through. From disaster preparedness to navigating recovery's embrace, we're here to guide you in every unpredictable time and place. We break down the complex, make it easy to grasp and absorb, sharing strategies for safety, the vital lessons you can't afford to hoard, So thank you for watching, and thank you so much for your sub. You're a key part of our growing family, a member of our knowledge club. With every like, every share, and every comment you send our way, our critical message spreads further, helping more people every single day. Together we're stronger and more prepared. That's the truth we all abide. You help us build resilience with nowhere for uncertainty to hide. Your engagement truly inspires us. Your feedback acts as a guiding light, helping us continually grow and making our channel's future bright. We're always learning, always striving to be better. Bring you the most up-to-date information, no matter the weather. Emergency Management Associates is here for you now and forever, it's true. Keep watching, keep learning, because we truly appreciate all that you do. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here. We love you. God bless you. We'll see you on the other side.